Hello and welcome back. I'm James from DroneDrop-Off, and today we're going to be taking a look at the DJI Mini 5 Pro that I took apart in my teardown video, just to see if there are any areas where DJI could make some weight savings and what some of the different parts weigh. If you are interested in the teardown video, I have put a link to it in the description below. As I'm sure you will know, the drone is C0 classified, as you can see here, but it does weigh 252 grams, so it doesn't meet the current UK requirements. This is due to change soon though, so it's not something I would be worried about, but there are some better videos out there that go into a bit more detail about that. This video is more to show the weight of different components. The main thing that myself and a lot of people are surprised by is the size of the speaker inside the drone. We will be going through the weight of different components of the drone using these cheaper scales. They won't be the most accurate, but it will give an idea of the weight of some of the parts. If you remove or alter parts on your drone based on details from this video, do so at your own risk, and it's not something I advise on doing. So you can see we have the scales zeroed out here, and we're going to start by weighing the speaker along with the speaker screws. Which you can see comes to around 1.8 grams, and I'll move the scales to give you a clearer view. So you can see that a bit more clearly here, 1.8 grams with the screws. I do suspect DJI will reduce the weight of the drones in future batches, and this will be one area that I think they will start with. So here is a bit of a closer look at the speaker, just so you can see its size. And one thing that's quite interesting is that the speaker on the DJI FPV, although being a heavier drone, as you can see here, is a smaller speaker. And I'm just going to show you the difference with that here on the scales. And as you can see, a smaller speaker may save quite a bit on weight. So next we're going to take a look at the main obstacle avoidance sensors. And as you can see, the frame of it does have some areas where the moulds could possibly be changed to reduce weight. You can see it's quite thick. And I'll just pop that on the scale so you can see its weight. And that weighs about 10.6 grams, 10.57. A lot of people have asked about the propellers on the drone, so we'll weigh one of them next. As you can see, they do have a locking mechanism in them, which is quite good. And they obviously are quick release propellers compared to the Mini 4 Pro style where they screw onto the motor. I do think that the design of the propellers is good, and there wouldn't really be any point in trying to reduce their weight, as I don't think it would make enough difference. And as you can see here, each propeller weighs 2.5 grams, so not a lot. So next we'll take a look at the two small covers located in the front of the main shell of the drone, which I'm just pointing out where they've came from here. And as you can see, they really don't weigh much. Even together it's just 0.22 grams. So next we'll take a look at the weight of the stickers for the two rear arm pivot screws and the two rear top shell screws. And again, they're just a tiny weight at 0.11 grams. There is also the sticker that covers part of the board. This isn't the one that's acting as a shield for some of the chips on the board. You can just see here where it would normally go. And I'll just weigh that to show you, but again it's a tiny amount of weight. 0.15 grams. Some people have mentioned about the weight of the new button on the side of the drone. I'll just show you that here. You can see it slides into the main shell of the drone. But again, this really isn't adding much weight to the drone. I'll just show you here. You can see there it's 0.1 grams, which is really not much. And just to take a look at the main body of the drone and its weight, you can see here It weighs 17 grams, so not as much as you would expect, and I don't think this would be a good area to try and get weight savings. You can see the top shell here with the GPS still fitted weighs 9.43 grams. And the lower vision sensor, which is similar to the one from the Mini 4 Pro, but it does have some added stickers, and obviously the button as well. And that weighs 5.55 grams. And each front arm pivot weighs just 1.28 grams. The IMU weighs 0.74 grams. Each upper gimbal mount weighs 0.22 grams. The full gimbal weighs 41.06 grams. And you will notice I have one of the gimbal covers removed, which is less critical. You'll see here that it's used for covering the gimbal cable where it runs from the gimbal up into the body of the drone, but the gimbal cable is held further up anyway. And you can see the weight of that here is 0.3 grams. Then we have the heatsink here, as you can see, which does have some plastic parts to it. And that weighs 3.74 grams. Just so you can see the weight of one of the front arms. That weighs 13.18 grams. Or 13.2 grams. And then a rear arm pivot weighs 1.37 grams. And then we'll weigh one of the rear arms, which weigh 11.15 grams. And then onto the bottom cover, which is an easily removable part, which wouldn't really cause any issues with the drone and how it operates, but it would mean that the drone is more susceptible to damage in a crash or a knock. And this weighs 3.64 grams, but again, removing it may reduce the strength of the drone, but it should get the drone below 250 grams. And as I'm showing here, it does really open the bottom of the drone up to potential damage or liquid damage, and the lower vision sensors are susceptible to more damage this way as well. So just to go through some of the areas where there might be possible weight reductions in future drone batches. The frame on the upper obstacle avoidance could possibly be reduced in weight. There could maybe be some alterations on the camera casing part of the gimbal. The main two things that I think could easily be removed would be the side gimbal arm cover and bottom shell, which would save you 3.6 grams on the bottom shell and a slight bit extra on the cover. And then if we add together some of the really small bits that are maybe not as easy to be removed or might affect the performance or operation of the drone. So we've got some of the small cover parts from the shell, the gimbal side arm cover, we've got the speaker, which again you can see the size of that there, along with the screws for that. Some more of the stickers. And the little button part. Which the button can still be used like that, but you would have to use something like a small toothpick just to push the button. And then you can see here there are 4 small foam pads that go on the bottom of the main board, which I've already removed one. And these stop the battery from rattling and make it fit more snugly into the shell of the drone. It's possible that these could be made thinner, I think, and I'm just showing here how the battery fits into the shell of the drone, and it does have a bit of play, but obviously when the main board's in the drone with them foam pads, it does stop the battery from moving as much. They could potentially be made thinner in this direction that I'm showing here for all 4 of them, or maybe 2 could be removed. And you can see here that could potentially save you somewhere around 2.76 grams. And there has been some discussions about weight differences between different battery batches, so I'll just show you the weight of my battery, which as you can see is 70.13 grams, which is around what other people are getting as well. So I'll just show you a close-up of some of the parts again. I definitely don't think that DJI have made the drone over 250 grams deliberately, but we will have to see what happens with future regulations. I don't think it's going to be an issue in the future, and it's definitely possible that DJI may alter future batches of drones to reduce the weight. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.